Hi, this is Stan Yan, and I'm recording a feature for my Patreons, specifically um, my brain trust. I think in a previous post I talked to you guys about a project that I was working on. Here, let me share my screen, and so I can show this to you, olfactory memory. And So I took this project to, um, I paid for a critique from an editor this summer at the SEBWI Summer Spectacular Conference. And the editor was Melissa Manlove from Chronicle Books. And I had gotten a letter back, which they were going to do. They're send you written feedback, and then we'd schedule a phone call, or in our case, a Zoom meeting, which I insisted on because I wanted to make sure that she had a look at my illustrations as well. Um, the written critique came back, and I thought, based on what she had shown me or what she had said, that there was no chance that Chronicle was going to have any interest in publishing this. But then we went on, and I prepared for our Zoom call with answers to basically, what were a lot of her questions. And by the end of our Zoom meeting, she was definitely interested. But the two things that she was really adamant about stripping out was the fact that this was a period piece and the olfactory part of this. So since our meeting, I've been trying to figure out an approach to rewriting the script. I did a new plot outline, which I got some really good feedback from my critique groups on, but revising it based on um, what what they were telling me. I was a little bit at a loss of how to approach it, to try to methodically make sure that everything that I wanted to be in this plot showed up there. So I'm going to kind of show you what I'm doing. So let me go ahead and bring up my word processor file. So the first thing I did was I just well actually so let me actually show you my Scrivener script. Okay, we'll skip that for now. So I created a file called olfactory memory revise and resubmit. And so the first thing I did was I went ahead and used the note card features of on Scrivener to just go ahead and outline a plot. So as I'm outlining this, it was getting longer and longer, and before I knew it was 33 chapters. And I'm like, gosh, if each chapter is on average 10 pages, and that, based on what some of these chapters, what I'm trying to accomplish, 10 pages might be difficult. That's 330 pages, and I don't know, even though this is a late middle grade graphic novel, I don't know if I want to start there. But anyway, it seemed like my critique groups were really encouraging me to tighten things up quite a bit. So I actually took all of these, I took them over to a word processing file. And not only did I go ahead and copy and paste these to the detailed plot here, but I went ahead and wrote down, character descriptions, as well as some of the things that I was trying to accomplish in my main plot here, and then went ahead and went and outlined a detailed plot. But as I started to revise this, I was still unsure about whether or not I was going to get done what I wanted to get done. So I went ahead and also created a spreadsheet, and that way I could kind of put down our main plot. So one of my critique groups encouraged me to have an A storyline. And so I need to really focus on kind of the boring aspects. So these aren't the things that are people are going to remember about my story, but is the main part of my story that pushes the chronology forward. And so I can make sure that in each one of my chapters or scenes that I'm addressing each one of these storylines is moving forward in some way, shape, or form. The other thing that I wanted to make sure was that, um, I didn't ignore any of the characters. So once I get to doing a more detailed script on Scrivener of the of my story, I want to make sure that certain characters, like the dog, is present in more than just where I wrote the dog in my outline, because it seems like the dog just conveniently shows up to move certain things along. But if I don't make sure that the characters have a relationship and the character is not present during the whole story, then the reader's not going to have any sort of relationship, and some of these seminal moments in my story aren't going to have any impact. So this is actually, a few of the things that I picked up from a couple of my breakout sessions at the Society of Children's Book Writers conference, or the virtual conferences that I went to this summer. So I went to the LA conference, which became the virtual summer spectacular at the beginning of August, and then our regional conference, which normally happens at the Marriott Denver Tech Center in Lakewood. We had virtually, I think, in the middle of September. And so I went to as many novel workshops as I could, just to kind of bone up on plotting and character development. And this is one of the things that I took out of it. And I can't remember exactly who the presenter was that was talking about color coding everything, but they were doing basically outlining story arcs. And so they would actually do a almost look like a family tree, a flow chart, and they would go ahead and take these and color code them all and everything like that. So anyway, I just thought this might be a fun video, just so you could kind of see how the sausage was being made on my side. Now, whether or not this is successful for me or not, I don't know. But I'm going to go ahead and go through this process as kind of a more methodical way of outlining my story before I get to scripting it. The scripting part of it I find to be fairly easy. I love doing dialogue and character interactions and everything like that. So just making sure that the bones of my story are a little bit more solid before I get to doing all the fun stuff is what I want to make sure to have happen, because once I get to drawing the story, that's really time consuming. And if an editor is going to tell me to go back and redraw everything, then I'm not being very time efficient. So, but anyway, I'm hoping to get to that point. I'd be more than happy to have an editor in a publishing contract tell me that I need to redraw everything. But anyway, I just want to make sure that before I present it to her, I've thought through all the things that she wants me to do to address things to hopefully get this published, because she's already shown me that I would love working with her, and she's very insightful. So anyway, I hope you enjoy this look behind the curtain, and hopefully I'll have a few more of these for my brain trust going forward. And if you have any comments or input for me, I'm more than happy to take it, because you're on this journey with me, whether you like it or not. And I very much appreciate it. Thanks a lot.